Thanks for playing music this morning, Daniel. Welcome, everybody. We are live to all of our Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, MySpace. What else we got going on out there in this world?
All of them.
Huh?
All of the above.
Zoom. Where else does Daniel post this to? Do y'all know?
ChristianMingle.com.
ChristianMingle.com. What is the? It's not TikTok, but it's got a word like that.
X.
No, not X.
Lemonade or something.
Not Flickr.
WhatsApp.
That's no. Yeah, WhatsApp. Here we are. So welcome everybody. My name is Paul Roberts. We're excited you're listening to us live, or in a couple of days from now. We don't care. We have about 75 people here in our Plano office. Can y'all see it? I can see it. And you know why I can see it, Carrie? Because I built one of these before, and we had a few, and then in a blink of an eye, like I got a new office. And I was so excited when I got that office. And I said to myself, it's going to be 5 years before I fill this thing up. It's awesome. I'm excited. 5 years before I fill this up. And it literally took less than a year. And we already had like 100, 125 people in there. Yeah, it was crazy.
Visionary.
And yeah, I don't know, a visionary. I thought it was going to take 5 years. I wasn't the visionary. God was the visionary, not me. And so I just was like, holy cow, we have filled this place up. And I had a ping pong table. We had a lot of fun that we got to do stuff, Jacoby. I had to take my ping pong table down. I was upset about that. I was like, don't touch that was the last thing we put up. I was like, please don't put that up. And when you do, be careful, because I bought one of the expensive ones, but we had to put it up. My point to all this is you got to believe it. And I believe it.
Well,
and I believe we got barbecue, correct. But I believe with what Daniel has created here with the servant leadership and what he's built allows us to do that. Let me tell you why I came here, Yoshi, because I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I thank God for starters. Colin walked into my office. Colin Hugh. Do you know Colin?
No,
Nope.
no, but I know that it's part of his team.
He's part of his team.
And Alvin.
He's the tallest Asian I've ever met. And he comes into my office and he is the leasing it. He's going to lease my office out because we sold my company and I'm moving out. Right. And Colin says to me, what do you do? I said, we did insurance. He goes, why do you have a podcast studio? I said, because I did an insurance company from coast to coast. I had agents everywhere. And he goes, what are you going to do next? And I said, I don't know. I said, I'm going to take some time off. Me and my wife are going to travel. We're going to go to Grand Cayman. And then right after that, we're going to Aruba. Those are one of our two favorite places. Hers is Italy, but we weren't going to do that just yet. He goes, have you ever thought about doing real estate? And I said, yes. But I don't like it because you got this little bitty bubble you're stuck in, right? And you're in this little bitty city, Princeton. You're in Princeton, and you can't do Frisco. You can only do Princeton, right? And your broker is your boss. I've been building my own company for 20 years. I ain't working for no broker. And I did a little examination. I know why he's the boss. He's the boss because he passed a test. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean you're a great leader because you passed the test. Y'all ever had a bad doctor? A great doctor? They both passed the test. You with me? So that don't mean he or she is a good doctor or a good leader. You with me? So I was like, I'm sorry, Colin. I've looked into real estate. I know what's up. Not gonna work. He goes, I got something different. And I said, yeah, I understand, but I've been building my own company. Does anybody here want to be their own boss? Like, Yoshi, you want to build something that, like, I want to do it this way. I want to do it this way, right?
Absolutely.
Gina, you the same way? Like, Brandon, I want to do it this way. Jacoby, this is the way I want to do it. I want to get it done this way. And that was me. So I was like, no, thanks. He goes, please come meet my business partners, Calvin Wong and Daniel Ng, and let them just explain it to you. And I was like, I don't know, man. And so I started asking questions. Tell me a little bit more about it. He wouldn't tell me. Rule number one right there. People online, he wouldn't tell me. He wouldn't tell me. By the way, I sold my company for multi-millions, and he still wouldn't tell me. Y'all with me? I couldn't intimidate him with all my success. He still wasn't going to tell me. So, all right, this must be good, because I've been training people for 20 years not to talk too much. And Colin's not talking too much. Colin's zipping it up real quick. And I was very infatuated with him because he was such a tall Asian. And I was just like, oh, wow. And so.
Is he taller than Calvin?
Oh, yes. He makes Calvin look short.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'm up to his belly button.
Oh, yeah, easily. Yeah. Yeah. He's at least 6'13".
What?
613.
But my point is this: he got me around Daniel and Calvin, and I go sit in their office, and Daniel's telling me about the plan and what they're doing, and I was like, oh my God. And I texted my pastor under the table. He didn't know I did it. I said, I found it in capital letters. My pastor goes, I didn't know we were looking for anything. I said, I was. And I said, but I found it. What did I find? What I found is an opportunity to do what I want to do, to build what I want to build. I don't want to build real estate agents. I'm sorry. Could care less. I don't want to train real estate agents. I don't want to train you how to be a better real estate agent. I don't want to do it. I didn't build insurance people. I never taught anybody how to do an IUL, an annuity. I can barely spell annuity. Least I'm going to do is tell them how to do one. You with me? But here, Daniel's like, Paul, you can do whatever you want. I said, can I build leaders? He goes, you can build leaders. I said, I want to build people. People are broken right now. I don't care how great the training is. If the person's broken, the training sucks. Sorry. To that person, it does. Right? And so you have to have people that are healthy in order to receive the training. And I watch people go through training after training after training after training. You know, TC does one of the best open house trainings there is, right? Has anybody seen it? It's amazing. Absolutely phenomenal. You need to see it. And he calls it the what? Superdome? Mega open house. I forget what he called it. Super mega open dome. It's amazing, right? But here's the challenge. If you're broken, you can't do it. See, because when TC does it, he's smiling, right? When his customers walk in, he's just, anybody seen TC? Like he's smiling all the time, right? You just want to go say hello to him. You want to hug him. You want to share your information with him. You want to let him know, hey, by the way, I got bad credit. Hey, by the way, I got this. Because he's friendly. He's nice. He's got incredible people skills. So it works for him, but it might not work for someone that's broken. Because you can know everything he does. You can know every ounce of everything he does. But if the person walks into that open house and you don't have that same demeanor that he has, guess what? Doesn't matter. I'm a NASCAR fan. Please don't pick on me. I hate country music and I'm a NASCAR fan. I know that's weird. Country music makes me want to puke and kill someone. No kidding. But I love NASCAR, right? I would say Kyle Larson or Chase Elliott had the two fastest cars in NASCAR right now because they're Chevys, and I believe in Chevys. And if you put me in that car, Brandon, to race Kyle's vehicle, am I going to win this coming Sunday? No, not at all. But I got his car. But I can't win. Why? Because I'm broken. I don't know how to use that thing, right? So it's the same with people skills. It's the same. So Daniel's telling me about this opportunity. And I said, man, so I can just build people. I can build leaders. And he said, yes. I said, I have found my home. This is where I'm meant to be. And, you know, I've been studying this one proverb, 1921. It's many are the plans. Many are the plans. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but both those are plural. Many, M-A-N-Y, put it in capital letters. Plans, P-A-P-L-A-N-S, plans. You caught me misspelling that, didn't you? P-L-A-N-S, P-A-L-N-S, P-L-A-N-S, plans, right? See, I thought this is what I needed to do. But Colin walks into my office, and I don't think that was a mistake. I think that was the grace of God. Introduced me to that man, and I was like, and he says, I get to be me. He goes, you get to build leaders. In fact, he told me this, don't even do real estate transactions. I said, really? He goes, I don't want you to do any of them. He goes, build leaders. That's your sweet spot. That's where you need to be. I was like, this is my home, right? This is what, because I know for a fact, because I was broken. I'm a recovered alcoholic for 13 years. I was absolutely broken, destroyed. I remember when I got sober, I remember Pastor Goad coming to me and saying, hey, you got to know your why. Jacoby, I wanted to punch him. I said, if you keep asking me my why, I'm going to hurt you. Right now, I just want to breathe. I've wasted decades of my life. I've made my wife miserable. I've made my kids miserable. Quit asking me my why. You with me? But he kept asking, and he kept asking. And then I meet Daniel. That wasn't a mistake. What's my why? What's my purpose? See, if you keep moving in the direction of success, it will be revealed to you. And I moved in the direction of success the day I met Daniel Ing. And he said to me, go do you. Help me build leaders, Paul. I said, really? Oh, what a blessing. You know what I mean? The whole world's over here teaching people how to be a better real estate agent. You can't teach a person how to be a better real estate agent if they're not a better person. They got to be a better father, a better mother, a better sister, a better everything in order to receive all of the training that we have. And we have great training. And by the way, Tina's going to give you all some phenomenal training today because she's really, really good at it. Great at it. Now, please be careful because a lot of people mistake when I say, I don't want to train real estate agents. They say, oh, you hate training. I didn't say that. I don't want to train real estate agents. That's not my deal. Y'all with me? That's just not, that'll never be inside of me. Just sit down with you and teach you how to do an open house, right? Just won't be there. But I will help you take advantage of the training that's been given to you. Like if y'all ever seen Scribner do his training on social media, Brandon Scribner's training on social media, it's hilarious. It's awesome, right? It's beautiful. It's fun, right? But if you don't have that inside of you and you're not there yet, it won't work. Like I could offer to pay all of your marketing, all of your social media and everything. But if you're broken inside, that social media ain't going to do you no good. He comes out of the house like he owns it. He had that one thing he said bad word. I ain't going to say it. You know? And he got like 2,000 bazillion views on it, right? He got a couple of closings out of the deal, right? It's insane. But if you're not, see, you got to get to that point. And Daniel goes, you can train people to get to that point. I said, okay, I found my home. Yes. And I told Pastor Goad, and Pastor Goad met Daniel and his whole team in Miami a year ago. And my man, Pastor Goad, says, you have found your home. You have found your calling. God has blessed you. Thank you. Many are the plans. I got many plans for your life, Paul. I got many plans for your life, Carrie. See, right now, we all have these plans for our life, but I'm telling you, there's many more plans. And inside of what Daniel's about to show you, you can fulfill them all. You can choose what you want. I believe one of Tina's greatest plans, greatest assets is teaching people. Man, she gets fired up. There's something inside of her that just goes to another level when she gets to teach on stuff. Gives me chills, right? She gets to do that. She gets to embrace that and teach people and feel satisfied by helping people grow. What are your plans? Jacoby, what's your why? Don't tell me. But what's your why? Because I'm constantly, and you're getting mad at me too. You want to punch me just like I want to punch Pastor Gunn? Not yet? Because I'm constantly going to Jacoby, what's your why? What's your why? What's your why? He's like, man, I told you my why. I said, no, I want you to cry when you tell me your why. Now, you won't at the beginning. I didn't in the beginning. I said, Pastor Gunn, I just want to breathe. I've let my whole family down, bro. I don't want to discuss my why. I got to get to work. But as I got to work, my why was revealed, right? Many are the plans. And then I meet, like I said, Daniel Ing, and boy, did things change. So I'm going to let him share exactly what the platform is, exactly what it does, and how it can enhance your life. He's got big, crazy dreams too. And those were the two that matched up. When he said to me he wants to impact 3 generations, the first time I met him, I was like, I'm where I need to be. Thank you, God. Thank you for putting me here today. Y'all with me?
And thank you, Daniel, for all those crazy dreams.
Thank you, Daniel, for all these. Let's give Daniel a hand as he comes on up.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
All right. Well, just came back from Vancouver last week. I was at the Build conference and got to meet other great leaders around the country. Some people from Seattle, from Phoenix. And, Paul, he's a phenomenal leader, right? This is a community that we're getting to build together. So kind of take away what I want to share is what are we doing here as a community? We've created We Partners Network. That's the community that you guys are all part of. But from there is like, what do we want to do with it, right? So the Panda Pack is kind of the leadership group. Like, a lot of people ask me like, okay, what are you doing? You have Invest, you got We Partners, you got Panda. You kind of get confused, but it's not. You have the community, right? That's the We Partners. And then within the community, you're going to have leaders, right? The leaders that show up, like you guys that show up, right? You're part of this pack, right? That's our kind of like our leadership circle. So, and as you're building your own, if Paul's building his own, you're doing the same thing. You're going to create that, right? So I'm kind of teaching you how to create this community yourself. So within the community, you got to have a mission and vision, right? Our mission and vision is to support people in real estate, create more wealth, create community, and create a legacy for our future, next generation to come. And with a platform like EXP, it allows us to do that, right? You got to have a vision. Our vision is to be 10,000 people globally, and I know we can get that. The main thing is you have to have a vision and a goal and a mission. And every day you kind of look at this, like, am I working towards that goal? Am I working towards the mission? Like anything that I'm doing, right? When we do our barbecue events, when we do our events, is this fulfilling that mission, or are we just, checking a box, right? And you don't want to get to where it's just checking a box, because you want to actually look at that mission, like, we need to do this. Like, that's kind of my why, like why I wake up. A lot of people ask me, like, why do you have so much energy? Because I have to go back to this and stick and stay on point, or else you get kind of, scattered everywhere. I was texting Brandon yesterday, feel like, man, I feel overwhelmed, like all this. But then I go back to this mission and vision. There's the pinpoint. That's where you need to focus on. So we would talk about the cash flow quadrant. If you've ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? I always share this cash flow quadrant, and thank you, Paul, for pointing this out. And we use this part of our slide is, when you get your real estate license, you're self-employed. You created a job, all right? Now, as a self-employed, you got to be self-motivated, right? If you don't have a community around you, sometimes it's tough. You don't get that motivation if you're not a self-motivator, if you don't know what your why is. But another thing is, when you're joining any brokerage, you're renting your license with a broker, and you'll always rent it. But then you're in a business where you're like, hey, we need to sell home. We need to get people from renting to going to buy it. So same thing, you need to ask yourself that same question. Why am I renting my license at a brokerage where there's a platform where we get to own the platform instead of renting? So that's really the main thing about that. Now, how do we get to the business owner category? Like brokers that start their own companies, they're a business owner. You want to be there in the future. That might take 4 years, because it takes 4 years as a new agent to get a broker license, right? But in this platform, day one, you have the opportunity to become a business owner. You have to understand how to run a business, how to operate, and that's where we're here. We're here as a community to help you do that. And of course, everybody wants to be in the I category, where your money just continues to grow, right? But immediately in this platform, you're a business owner, and I'll show you what that would look like. So I share these community pictures about our group coming together. We're doing community service work. We did one yesterday, Mission Arlington, a group of us, we did iHeart EXP. So a lot of us came together and we served the community for half a day. A lot of labor work yesterday, but it was good. And you guys can do this in any market you're in. I asked my friend John Sai up in Canada, I was like, hey, you guys doing anything in EXP Canada for iHeart EXP? Like, no, we don't have anything. I'm like, why not? So I said, if you guys do something, we can plan it, and I'll fly up there, and we can do more community work. It's about giving back. We have leadership masterminds around the country coming together. I was in Scottsdale today at 5 o'clock. We're doing another barbecue event. It's going to be more potluck. I really want all the partners to come bring a dish to the table. Carrot sticks and celery sticks, okay too. In this case, as long as you're bringing to the table, it could be drinks, it could be ice. Invite people. The power of the invite, so people can see our community. So appreciate being partners up with SurePath Lending. They're in the back here. They're our partners and we partners. Please connect with them. As anything that comes out from the partnership, our focus is to give back to the We Partners community. So just a lot of events that we do as a community. So it's not just having fun. We got all these things that that we do as a group. So going back to what EXP is about, we are a global company. For those that need to understand, like, we do have a lot of sales trainings. We have a lot of events going on. So we're not isolated. All right. So And I'm going next week. I want to redo my slides because for this presentation, I have to mix it up. And I really want to show you what this movement of EXP is about. So Glenn Sanford in 2009 created this company. Okay. Everyone needs to understand, if you're in EXP already, you need to understand why this gentleman created this platform. Not for himself, but actually finding a solution for agents. Because agents at a typical brokerage, you don't have no ownership, there's no equity, and there's no compensation if you're growing the company. The only company that was doing that was a red brand, I'll call it a red brand, and they had what we call profit share. But the problem with profit share is if the company or that office is not profiting, there's nothing to share. Okay, so he was able to figure out how to cut costs so he can share more. So that's what we call revenue share. The company shares the revenue. So Glenn Sanford, a brilliant guy. He's a solutions person. So in 2009, he created the first cloud-based real estate company. We are still the largest independent brokerage in the world. Okay. Very humble gentleman. You can reach out to him. If I Slack chat him right away, he'll respond within 1 hour. I mean, that's how he's always connected. So imagine there's 1,000 real estate offices. Okay. Doesn't matter what brand, Coldwell Banker, Remax, Century 21, Independent. And the thing is, if they're paying $6,000 rent, you multiply that by 12 months, that's about $72 million just in rent. So he went cloud-based, meaning we don't have any real estate. So because agents are indirectly paying for these expenses, right? So what was the solution? The solution was going cloud-based, and that would look like this. So he created the first, oh, happened to my EXP world. So he created the first metaverse real estate company, and actually the first corporate company to operate in this realm. So if you were licensed in Texas or Canada or Puerto Rico or wherever EXP's at, you can hop into your Texas broker room. So I'll kind of glimpse into this really quick. And we'll say hi to Holly. Hi, Holly. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Daniel. I haven't seen you for a while.
I know. I usually come in the afternoon. So I'm going to turn on my webcam. You can say hi to the crowd.
Well, hello, everyone. Hi.
We're just doing a We Explain. And what help can agents get in the Texas broker room?
Yes, they can pop in here if they have any general questions. We also have brokers on duty. So if you have any broker questions, have questions about your contracts, compliance, need some advice, definitely pop in here. They're here to help assist you. We also do have some wonderful meetings in here as well in the Texas broker room.
Great. And Holly, you are a live person, right?
I am a live real person, yes.
Yes. Thank you very much. You have a great day.
Yes, you are welcome. You guys as well. Come
Okay.
see us anytime.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yep, bye-bye.
So you have a live receptionist in the state of Texas. You have to understand that you have one admin up front, and imagine that, like I said, if there's 1,000 offices, you have to hire a person each office. We eliminated the workforce, so we cut down cost. Holly actually doesn't live in Texas. She actually lives in Minnesota. She's online supporting, and she can work for the company. That's how crazy this is. So now we go back to training. If there's a contract class or something, you can pop up what's going on in the training world of EXP. So you have the training calendar for just for Texas. This is not including all the other sales trainings that we have also. That's just specific to Texas. So if you need contract class, you need Sky Slope, you need all this other stuff, it's here. Okay. So another thing she mentioned, Holly was mentioning, like talking to brokers. So if you pull a ticket, you could talk to the managing brokers on duty right away. So I just saw Josh Davis yesterday helping volunteer. So Josh was here, and let me see. No, he's on the phone. So they're there waiting for you. That's how we operate. Okay. So don't get scared of the technology. Go there, talk to a broker. They're there. Okay. So that is the EXP world. And I just want to kind of give you a glimpse of that. So let me get out of this because they're going to come out and say hi to me later on and scare me. All right. So you saw the metaverse. You saw how powerful this system is. It has changed the real estate game. A lot of new real estate companies that come out, they all try to be cloud-based. They're trying to compensate, but no one has a metaverse. No one has the scalability to build, a real estate company that's massive. So, disclaimer: we always have to share. Anytime we share any kind of numbers about revenue share or stocks, we have to have a disclaimer about it. It's all on what you're doing, how you're building. So we started the company in 2009. That Glenn Sanford did. We went public on NASDAQ in 2018. We started going global in 2019, 2020. Right during the pandemic is actually when we launched EXP Global, and also commercial. That's why I'm here. Today we're over close to 90,000 agents worldwide. Okay, we just launched Korea 2 weeks ago. We also launched Japan last week. So I'm excited for that. I do have agents that have joined us in Japan already, and I'm working on Korea. So if you have any Korean contacts, let us know. Let's build our Korea team, and then we can do a K-pop tour. So, or we can do something. So we are, like I mentioned, we are the largest independent brokerage in the world. We do a lot of transactions. This slide will change next year because Compass, if you haven't seen, announced is merging and buying out Anywhere. So you're going to have two big companies, number 2 and 3 that are combining forces. All right. So what does that mean? We'll see. We'll see what the market does. They're both publicly traded companies, and they have a lot of debt. So those are things that, they're consolidating. Everyone's trying to consolidate or cut down costs. What EXP did in 2009 was immediately cut down costs. We're the only public real estate company without any debt. That says a lot. So you can check out who are their top teams. We are cloud-based. And so compensation, or what's the monthly cost? It costs $85 for EXP Realty. If you're on pure commercial, we're $500 a month, but we get different tools. Your $85 gets you the EXP World. You get Sisu, which is kind of like tracking your production, and then every agent gets Canva Pro. So you get the enterprise version of Canva. Slack is what we're using to communicate. I did hear that Glenn Sanford is building out a new system. We don't know when it will be rolled out, but he's beta testing certain things because Slack is great for communication one-on-one and just kind of following things. It's not a community tool. That's the missing component. When we were using Workplace, we had a whole Facebook lookalike community. He's building that. So I'm hoping he'll announce in a few weeks, but who knows? Who knows? But that's what I'm looking at. SkySlope, that's where all your transactions go through SkySlope. That's a transaction management system. CRM, we get 3 choices that you can choose from now. We're the first company to offer CRM of choices. My EXP app is kind of tracking your transactions and things like that. Looking at your organization, if you're growing your organization, is tracking all that. Enterprise is kind of where all the links and tools and things are. And then Instacart, who's using the Instacart from EXP? You are? Okay. So it's cool. It's a digital card that you can send out. It gives you a QR code. It's included, right? So those are free options or included in your $85. Wanted to kind of share about the lead gen. And there's a lot of different lead gen tools. You have to go through it. There's some certifications you go through as well, so make sure you do that. What I like about their new EXP Global referral system is if you have a need in Atlanta and you say, hey, I want 30% referral fee. These are my clients. You enter all that stuff in, And before you send out the client's information, there's another agent on the other side that's going to receive that. They're going to see this and it's like, okay, I'm going to take it. And once they agree, it's a binding referral agreement right away. So it's ready there. And, or like you were sending something to Spain and someone in Spain agrees, it's all tied. So when it closes, it automatically is created in their SkySlope. It's all integrated. So you're not worried about like, oh, did they close on it? Did they owe me money? It's all within the company, which is great. Paul was mentioning university, the training. We have 80 hours of plus hours per week of training, right? That's not including the trainings that we do here, right? And then FastCap. So FastCap is a new class that they came out last year, and it's a 6 weeks program. It's free. I highly recommend that any agent, whether you're seasoned, to go to the FastCap program. It's 6 weeks. They do it every month. So there's different trainers that are speaking on that. The next one is October 29th. So check that out. Mentor program. If you're brand new in real estate, you're going to be paired up with a mentor, or if you have a team leader here that you want to connect with, you can do that too. So want to kind of share the Regis office. Because EXP doesn't have physical office, this office is our community office that I own. We get to share that out. But agents who aren't in this area, how do they get access to other offices? Well, your $85 also gets you Regis access. So for those that are EXP, who has gone to one of the Regis offices? Who has the app on their phone? Okay. So you need to register that. If you don't know how, well, I'll show you how. You can even just Google EXP Regis, and there'll be a link. You sign up. It takes you 10 days to activate that Regis office. It's a global office. So if you're in, I believe you're in like a Wiley Firewheel area, there's an office there. So you can hop in, meet your clients. Yes. So there's a lot of resources for $85 a month that you get this global access. So I guess what I used it for in the summer was I was in Milan, and we're in the big square, and it's so busy and crowded during the summer. My wife goes, we need to find clean restrooms. So typically I go to Starbucks or McDonald's, but long lines and just dirty. She said clean restrooms. So when she said clean, I know what she means. So I was like, hey, there's a Regis office. So I go in there, they let us in. I just had a quick meeting, and I brought my kids in, and we had free water and all that, used that. And then at the same time as that office building had a rooftop access. So we got to see the whole Milan Square for free on top of this nice office building. And so that was great. So those are things you can use it for, right? You're paying for it, leverage it. Yep. So now going to the numbers. We are in the US, we are 80-20 split. There is a cap of 16,000 for the residential side. The commercial, we're capped at 20,000. Okay. When you're looking at the cap, remember that cap amount, and I'm going to show you where this money goes. Okay. What are the other costs? The startup is $149 for the realty side. Your monthly is $85 a month, like I mentioned. When you do a transaction, you pay 20% plus a review fee of $25 and a $60 risk management fee, which is the E&O insurance. Okay. So how do agents how do you become an owner of this company? When you do your first transaction every year, you get $200 worth of stocks. Okay. When you hit your production cap, hitting that 16,000 mark, you get $400 worth of stocks. When you introduce somebody to this company, whether they're in New York, Dubai, Hong Kong, or wherever, they do their first transaction, you also get $400 worth of stocks as well. This middle one is a optional program because agents are self-employed. Remember, we don't have a 401k. This is not a 401k, but this is something where you can take 5% of your commission and buy the company stock at a 5% discount. No vesting period. So in 30 days, say from now, if the stocks don't change, you sell it, you just made 5%. Right? So that is the equity program. An icon award, like Brandon here. Brandon's an icon producer, meaning he hit the cap and he did 20 more transactions. Leases also count. he was able to get up to 16,000 back in company stock. And he's a 2-time icon, almost going to be a 3-time. So working on a 3-time. So that's equity, right? That's equity right there. What company can give you back equity? So think about that, right? So these are the 3 CRMs of choices: Bold Trail, Lofty, Closed. I know if you have a big team, they do have a discount for Follow Up Boss. That's another CRM that you can look into. So remember that 16,000. So where does this $16,000 go? So 16,000, which is that 20%, goes to the company. The company shares 50% back to what we call revenue share. They share that back to agents on the 7-level tier, okay? The other 50% goes back to the company for operations, okay? So 50-50 split. But we talk about stocks. Where does the stock money that the company gave to Brandon come from? That comes from the company dollar. So almost 25% of that, half of that, goes back to agents in the form of stock. So almost 75% of the company's revenue goes back to agents. Okay. This is the percentage of the tier is shared out on 7 levels. If you add those numbers up, that's 100%. So 50% of the revenue gets shared out 7 levels. So I'm not going to get too detailed on the revenue, but just know that it's very simple that if you're introducing people to the company, inviting them to the barbecue, inviting them to our community, and they like what they see, they like the community that we're building, you can build a business of just like a broker is doing day one, right? Just introducing them to a better community. And yes, the company will compensate you through revenue share. Okay. So there's a new thing called co-sponsorship. This allows us to find leaders. So right now I'm working with Toby in Phoenix because his sister's in Phoenix, and we're looking for a good co-sponsor. Guess what? I was in Vancouver and I met a great lady, Michelle Wilson, and she used to be a Century 21 owner, and she has about 800 agents in her group. Phenomenal person, great leader, perfect. I connected them. They're actually going to be on a call this afternoon. We got someone to support Toby's sister, because there's no way for me locally in Dallas to support her in that local market. So we got to find those leaders. So this year, the company really changed the game by doing co-sponsorship. So we can find a local leader to support that other agent in that market. So now you can do the same thing. So Carrie, if you had someone in Atlanta, guess what? If you don't know anyone in the EXP, you can call us or talk to the community like, hey, who has a great leader in the Atlanta market? And if our group is too small that doesn't know anyone in Atlanta, guess what? You go to Slack, you can go to other leaders, you can go find them, and you can interview them first, right? Before you choose someone, you can talk to them like, hey, what are you doing in a group? Are you building a community just like our community? And if you feel like there's a collaboration, there's synergy there, then great, then do that, okay? But co-sponsorship is great. We've done over 50 of these. And yeah, so just a lot of great leaders to learn from. We're part of the Wolf Pack. We're part of Fast Forward. We're part of Tina Call. We're part of the Girls with Grit. And I can just go on and on. So with this, my goal as a leader is I want to be all connected with everyone. I mean, that's just me, because it just creates more synergy this way. So that is all I have for about explaining the model at BXP. But really, the main thing I want you guys to understand is the community that we're building, because the community aspect is really important. And I'm going to go back to like what we're doing together. The position that I'm in, I'm also building the community. You can build the community. If God takes me home today, the community continues, right? It'd be sad, but the community will continue. And my kids, my position is willable to my family. My wife will inherit my position first, right? She has to get licensed to inherit, so she'll get it done. She will still get the revenue, but she'll inherit the people. And our kids in the future will have a network of people. So that is more powerful than the revenue. That's more powerful than equity, because that is the next generation, and it can continue on. But you have to have a platform to do it. Because if I have my own brokerage, something happened to me today, my wife is not going to know how to run a brokerage, right? The company will dissolve right away. But with this, when there's a platform that just continues on, right? Corporation, Glenn Sanford one day will not be here either, right? Gary Keller and Keller Williams will not be here. How is it going to run? That's why Gary Keller sold his, I think, majority share to a corporation so it continues to run, right? So that's why you're in the ownership position here at this platform, okay? And don't think like, well, I'm new in the company. If you got in this business in real estate, you have to be a business owner. You have to take charge of your business and grow, whether it's in sales, whether it's a organization. You can do both. So our goal, what Paul and I are doing, is making sure that we equip you guys to do both, because we all have a timeline, right? You don't want to look back 20 years from now like, oh man, I should have at least, connected with people. I've been closing a lot of deals, but I never connected with people, right? This is a people business. You got into real estate to do a people business. You might as well connect with people and build a community. And if that's what I think, that's what we're stressing, is everyone can do it. Whether you have a vision to be 1,000 people or vision to be at 100 people or 50 people or 10, you've got to set your goals, and we're here to help you guys. So, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna have SurePath, one of you guys, come up and kind of share a little bit more about the partnership, the alliance, and what we're doing together.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Come up. And then we'll get ready for Tina.
All right.
Yeah.
Check. All right. My name's Daniel Swaney. I've got Ben Bingham over here in the back and Julia Spooner. So we're with SurePath Lending. We're a mortgage company here, and we're partnered up with you guys. And really, we just wanted to kind of create a presence with you guys. So we're here as a support. We want to be a passenger with you guys. A partner with you guys and passenger with you guys, and go along this process. And help in any way we can. So we know a lot of you, kind of come in and new, and as you kind of grow in and learn the EXP system, we would love to sit down and kind of talk about the mortgage side of it in any way that we could help. We're always here to support. If you need to jump on a one-on-one, have some conversations, kind of give you the mortgage one-on-one so you can have an intelligent conversation with your clients. We're here for all of that. So it's really, we want to create an additional support system and be a resource for you. So, you've got, whenever you have a client and they go out and they get pre-approved, they're not always going to have, the same knowledge that you would have. So, we want to come in and help out in any way that we can, even if we don't have the deal and they need a fresh set of eyes to kind of talk over some paperwork or, see if we can, beat the bid that they have. All of that's an option. In worst case scenario, we talk them through it. We answer their questions. We give them a competitive bid, and then they know, hey, I've got a great deal, or hey, I can take, SurePath's deal and kind of create a little dynamic to where we can go back and forth and compete for the business. So it's all about, creating that community that we're here to support you guys in any way that we can. So Ben, you want to add something to it?
Yeah, I want to just chime in a little bit, because a lot of times you see partnerships with mortgage companies, and really what it is a passenger. Y'all give us leads, we close the deals, hopefully on time, and we're saying we're a partner. That's not a partnership. We're really in the front seat with you all. You will start to see emails coming from Daniel. I said, yes, from Daniel. Two of them. I got confused for a second. Yeah.
I'm D2.
And you will see him logoed up with the SurePath logo. And Daniel's a very giving person. And him being a part of this, that means there's revenue shares, just like you see with the 75%. The money that comes in, the money that's saved, the money that's pushed through back into We Partners is coming back to you all in leads, potlucks, advertisements for you all. So it's not just we're closing loans for you all. Daniel has become and Calvin have become a part of SurePath so that we can give you all the best benefit, best rates, buy downs, helping people to get closed on loans. So it's truly a partnership this time around.
Yeah. So with this partnership, it's important because, you know, you see that there's a lot of expenses in running a community, right? But you guys don't have to do that because we're already doing it. So we found a way where, you know, I can come in and partner up with a lender and they can compensate through the loans. So that's one of the ways. Because of laws, there's no way to directly give it to the agents, but then within the community, we can do that. So that's why if you give the opportunity, this partnership opportunity, there's going to be compensation back into the We Partners so I can do these. Because yes, like you mentioned, I am very giving, right? But those giving, there's a cost to it, right? I can't do ribeyes every week serving, you know. So things like that. So that's why we wanted to do this alliance together. And it's not saying that, you know, you have to use it, but the thing is, you know that where it's going, right? There's an opportunity. So same thing with the EXP. There's an opportunity, you know, with growth. So we look forward in growing together with SurePath. We look forward in possibly even getting them into the ecosystem more, right? That's the goal, right? Because they can do loans other states as well. So as they continue to grow, we get to grow with them. So,
Absolutely.
all right.
That's the game plan.
All right, thank you. So we're gonna take a little quick break, and then Tina's gonna come up at 11 and get her training going. So, all right, thank you.
Get through it. What can you do?